I am psyched today to show you one of my favorite things to do, and it's a missing link for a lot of players. Like if you're having a hard time with your handles not working in game situations, you probably need more freestyle basketball practice. So I'm going to show you some different ways to freestyle with the ball in a way that's game specific, not like freestyle tricks and stuff like this. Like that's not what this video is about, okay? We're going to show you how to do things that are completely acceptable in game situations, and I'm going to make sure that by the time you're done with this, you got some really good ideas. Okay, this is how I can take my game next level. For a lot of players, when they get into games, they've got like all these moves they practice. I do this move and I beat my defender. I do this move and I beat my defender. That's great. It's good to have go-to moves, but you also got to freestyle. Because if you don't have that, like if I do this move, my defender cuts me off. Okay, I got my crossover, my defender cuts me off. Now what, right? You can keep working on counter moves, but that's not going to account for every game situation. So that is why it is so important that you watch every one of these different freestyle drills. They are fun, but they're drills to make sure you're getting your handles ready for game situations. This is one of my favorite things to do, so let's jump into it. I'm excited. So the first thing is on the way to the hoop, freestyle. Now I'm going to give you variations for a lot of this stuff, so stay tuned, things are going to get fun. Basically with this, all you want to do is think about, okay, not thinking about anything. Go to the hoop and kind of just free flowing with it, right? Pulling off random moves, get a layup, right? You could do freestyle, come to the top of the key. I'm just gonna go wild, right? Boom, boom, boom. Maybe I'm gonna go into a jump shot, right? So mixing things up that way, try not to like do the same thing over and over and over again. That's what freestyle is about. Just kind of breaking out of your comfort zone. So don't think about this either just with like your ball handling. Also approach this with like, okay, I got this move and now I'm gonna do a Euro step, right? Things like, still got it. Things like that to help you work on your moves to the basket. But don't just stop there. On your 2 steps to the hoop, that's a good way to freestyle. Your dribble moves, that's a good way to freestyle. But what else could we do? How about we do something like this? Boom, boom, boom. And then we could go goofy hand, reverse. Or we can mix up those finishes, some pump fakes, 2 hands if you're at that level, right? And it's a good way if you're not at that level to start getting to that level. So branch off, try new things. Don't be afraid to mess up. Next one's good if you don't got a lot of space to work with. It's stationary. So you can do a lot of things with stationary freestyle, right? It's the same thing as before. We're just mixing up our moves, changing things up. Inside out between the legs, reverse between the legs. You know, behind the back, spin move. How can I combo some crazy stuff together? Working on getting myself a little bit creative, right? That's a really easy thing you can do at home, adding a little footwork like you saw me doing, you know, with whatever space you got. If you don't have like hardly any space, just keep those feet planted. You can still freestyle like that. There's a lot of things you can work on, you know, to start working on your handles even there. Okay, next thing you got to make sure you have in place with all this stuff is that you're trying new things. So like if you like find yourself like, okay, I'm doing my freestyle to the hoop and I'm always doing between the legs and I'm just taking a regular dribble and taking the same layup, like you're missing the point. You're here to break out of things, right? So make sure you're consciously thinking about, okay, I want to make sure I don't do the same combo every single time. Whether you're stationary, on the way to the hoop, all this stuff. Branch out. Now, one thing you can do is maybe be a little more thoughtful about what you're doing, not think so freestyle, right? So what I mean by that is like if you think, oh, I'm gonna freestyle, and you just keep doing this every time, then that's a problem. You're not really breaking out. So then maybe say, okay, I'm gonna do this combo. I'm gonna go between the legs, reverse between the legs, inside out to mix things up, right? That way you know you're trying something different. And then, okay, next time, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do something different, right? Put a little more time to think about your combos. If you are having problems with this, I'm gonna give you all your basic moves right here. So, important part. You've got regular dribble. You've got crossover, both ways for all the crossovers. Between the legs. You've got reverse between the legs. You've got behind the back. You've got the spin move. You've got your like V motion or the sham god. And you can change that up by going between the legs. You've got your inside out dribble. You've got something really advanced, which I came up with. The outside in, hand comes from that sham god position, pulls it across and then goes into a crossover motion. And then you got your pullback and forward roll V. So forward roll V would be like this. And then you've got your pullback like that. Those are all different one dribble moves that you can remix with each other. And you can take those next level. Like you could do like that sham god behind the back. You could do an inside out from reverse between the legs. You could just do an inside out behind the back, right? There's like street ball type things you can do, but the stuff I gave you Before that, that's a little bit more your basic stuff that your coach will probably be cool with. You can do all that to the hoop and station. Next thing you can add into all this stuff on the way to the hoop or just stationary. Imagine that you've got a defender, so you're my defender, and I'm thinking about like, okay, if I do this move, how are you gonna react? You're gonna have to fight that way. Okay, I'm gonna come back this way, right? Thinking about which way you're gonna move and going a different way. So whenever you're doing your drills, these drills, freestyle drills to the hoop or stationary, always imagine you got that guy on you. How's he gonna react? Can I give him a little hezzy to get him to come up on me, right? And then blow by him? Can I maybe hit him with a quick inside out to make him think I'm gonna come from that hezzy that way and go that way, right? Mentally imagining all the little things different defenders do. And you know, if you're having problems with a certain defender, like maybe think about, okay, what is it that they do? How do they guard me? Which way? Maybe they play you really tight right here on this side. So I'm gonna work on moves where I keep the ball to this side, right? Maybe they play me really deep, so I'm just gonna work on step back moves. Maybe they play me tight right in front, so I'm gonna keep the ball more behind me and work on ways to get past them. All this can be done stationary and on the way to the hoop. Okay, next thing you can do is something I came up with. I think it's one of the funnest things you can do, and it'll really help you master different moves and combos. It's called a combo play flow session. I teach this at my Superstar Handle sessions actually. And all you're gonna do with this, and things get a little more detailed here, is we're gonna just rep on the combo over and over. So it could be inside out cross, inside out cross. That's one example. It could be, you know, that one loops back, so we get equal work with both hands. If I did like between the legs cross, then this hand's always going between the legs and this hand's always crossing over. So then I would after that want to work on going the other way, right? Between the legs cross. So just like 2 or 3 dribble combos, okay? From there, all you're gonna do is mix things up. So what I mean by that is I can do this inside out cross a lot of different ways. I can do it just standing still here. I can add a little hezzy, right? I can add a little step, right? Step here, sell those fakes a little more. I can work on doing it higher, right? I can work on doing it low and tight. I could add the footwork in with that, right? I could do some crazy stuff with the footwork, like going inside out cross, step the opposite direction, inside out cross, step the opposite direction. I can play around with speeds. I can go inside out quick cross, inside out quick cross. Mixing up those little things, high, low, tight, wide, different footwork patterns, playing around with it. I'm doing the same combo over and over, but changing what I'm doing with it. Great way to freestyle and master doing that combo. So different game situations, like if I got a defender that likes to weight down low on my crossover, maybe I have to work on a throat cross to come over the top. Maybe I know I need to shift him a little more, so I can work on adding that jab step, right? So now in those game situations, no matter how they play you, you got a way to react. Next thing you can do is start to branch off with like things on the way to the hoop and for your freestyle, but as far as like what you're doing with like the amount of dribbles you're doing. So what I mean by that is like trying to cover some ground, working on the athleticism with the legs more. That's an important point in games, right? So I can work on freestyling to the hoop with the moves like I was talking about before, but I want to try to like get there in few dribbles, right? So I don't want to be like doing between the legs, cross, behind the back, another behind the back, inside out, all that stuff. No. We want to try to get there quick, right? So again, that's nothing wrong with that. That's just a different way of working on things, right? Maybe you got to work on your ability to attack to the hoop. That's what this is for. So I would want to go, okay, between the legs, cross, try to get there right away from my layup. Get there as quick as I can. Okay, cool. Now I'm gonna freestyle try something else. So the next time up, I'm gonna switch it up. Maybe I'll go inside out, behind the back, one more regular dribble, get my layup. Right, switching things up every time on the way to the hoop, but trying to be efficient and quick, minimize the dribbles. One other thing I can do on the way to the hoop is I can pretend like, okay, I got a defender that likes to play me tight, right? Okay, well, how can I still be effective with getting somewhere while keeping the ball behind me, right? So I'm gonna dribble it back here. I'm gonna do behind the backs, things like that. You can do that with your stationary freestyle and on the way to the hoop. Next thing you could do is like, let's say you're like planning the moves out a little more, like you know that you just keep doing the same things or you just want to make sure you're challenging yourself. Well, then focus on your combos and branch off. So what I mean by that is I got my between the legs cross. Okay, I know I'm good with that. What can I add to the end of that, right? So I could say, okay, I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna branch off with an inside out. Or I could go here, behind the back, right? All those things are different ways I can mix it up. And all the dribble moves I gave you before, you can keep branching off with. And you don't have to stop there. I could go, let's go back to the first one. We went between the legs, cross, inside out. I can add that behind the back. So if you're having a hard time like keeping things fresh and doing new things and like extending those combos, just think about, okay, what was the last move I did? And let's add one of the moves I gave you earlier in this video. So you'll probably want to keep coming back to that section. But now look, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's actually a lot of really cool ways you can take all this stuff next level. You can add a lot of different like little, I don't know how to explain them. They're like freestyle elements that you can add in the mix with all this stuff that will allow you to improve your handles really quick. It's stuff like Kyrie and some of the pro guys do. And it's just unique and will add a whole new style to your freestyle and allow you to take your handles next level quickly. I'll have that pinned to the top comment in a playlist. There's a bunch of videos with different little drills and ways of practicing your handles that are not normal. So if you found this fun, you will enjoy adding those into the mix and taking them next level and upping the challenge. Make moves today, make sure you subscribe and turn on all notifications to catch the newest videos. Hit that like button if you like the video, and drop a comment down below. Let me know which drill in this video was your favorite. I'll see you in that playlist in the comments down below next.